Move, chickens. Super chicken. So, might have done something. Usually there's something right here, but there's not. You also notice the body's a little further back, just a little bit. Let's go under the hood. As you see, this is a mid-motor Bandit. Said it couldn't be done. Actually, a lot of people already did it. I am not the first. I am not the first at all. But, come to find out, there's not a whole lot of room in here. There's quite a bit of cutting you got to do. Quite a bit. And a lot of hot gluing. I just come back from Mike's Hobby Shop. And we're going to go over all the little things I had to do to make this work. So obviously, you got to take the whole transmission off, right? And when you turn it around, I traced the bottom of the transmission with all the mounting holes on a piece of sticky note. And I put the sticky note on here, and I punched me 2 little center holes, and I drilled me some holes that'll fit the screws. Then, as you're sitting there trying to figure out where this thing's gonna sit, I wound up cutting a little too much off. Actually, I really didn't have to cut much at all right here. But on the other side, it's a different story. Running tight clearance. In fact, you see where I had to do a little cutout for the motor. So, I noticed the chassis was flexing really, really badly. So I added a support. Took the screw out of here, found a longer screw. This is kind of in a bind, but no flexi. Same thing over here. I wanted it all the way across. So this is actually an E-Revo link. Got a longer screw. Got a longer, what's it called, little turnbuckle thingy. And got a real short one over here. Got a longer screw in here, so the chassis don't flex. No flexi chassis. I am running a 25 on an 83. I wanted a good balance between torque and speed. I did have to take the lower arms off, or the rear arms, and as best I could, try to drill new holes. So of the 3 holes I drilled, I'm in the middle holes. And it's a pretty close tolerance. Pretty close. And then I noticed when you turn these things around, there's only 2 screws holding up the rear shock mount. So I utilized the existing holes in the shock mount, did the best I could, drilled 2 more holes, really small, and just kind of threaded the old links in there, got them pretty close where I wanted them, and I just took a couple more link ends and screwed them on. So that keeps the rear pretty stable. Now when you do this, a normal size battery no longer fits. So I had to use shorties. So I'm using shorties with a piece of foam. On the transmission, these little long through little bolts that kind of fortify the transmission from exploding, I cut the bottom one completely off, flat, so I didn't have to drill out or Dremel out the chassis. Figured that made more sense. There's already a lot of screws going through it. We'll rock and roll with it. Now there is an upgraded servo in there, but it is a wrong servo. It is stronger, really strong, but really, really slow. So racing's just not a go. These were twisting, I noticed, over time. This car is a few years old. So this is one of the original links that went to this car. This used to be a brushed car out of the box. And everything on this car that I put on is Traxxas. So, and I put a regular link in the back, and I tightened it together. It's been beat up a little bit, but it kept these things more straight. The phone, the camera don't do it justice, but they're straight. So there's a lot more freedom. I'm running, I think, 17 weight in the front and 27 and a half in the back. The car seems to like it. There's a good balance. I think the balance is pretty much, let's see if I can do this. Somewhere here. Somewhere. Oh God, don't drop in the laptop. So that's the balance. And so this car is also the exact same size as, it's the exact same size as an Associated B5. It's got the same, just about the same wheelbase. Can't talk. How if I could do this one-handed. The front is just, so the tires actually offset just a little bit. The front's about the same, and the rear's about the same. Those tires on the Associated are a bit wider. But yes, this is my interpretation of the Mid-Motor Bandit. I love it. It's a fun car to drive. It handles completely different compared to a regular Bandit. Nothing wrong with the regular Bandit. In fact, I don't even recommend doing this. I recommend just staying stock. If you want a mid-motor car, buy a mid-motor car. Buy a car designed to be mid-motor. Otherwise, you wind up consuming your life on a tiny little cheap car. Just a toy. It's just a toy. I love it. It's my favorite. It's like one of those things. If you know, you know. So, of course, with Castle Creations on there, hence why the laptop is out, I guess I'll show you my tune. So I have an extra cord coming from my ESC, so I could do a quick tune on it. So I gotta unplug that, plug that into my little chingalinga. In case you didn't know, the brown is negative, red's positive, orange is signal, and it pulls up. Yes, I am running the Sidewinder 3. So let's aside from the glare here. So what we got going on in the basic, because I'm running HV, I did raise it by 1 volt. That's an auto lipo right there, the shutoff. So when it hits 3.3 volts per cell, it cuts it out. I am still with reverse. So normal rotation, even though when you do a mid-motor Bandit, you're turning the motor completely around. So you got to reverse. I just swapped the lead. This is a censored motor. This is a non-censored ESC, which I will be upgrading soon. Obviously, we're running a brushless motor. Beep enabled, of course. Breaker mount, because this car is already so light. I dropped it down to 40. I'm still playing with that. Drag brake, 0. And click on power, so everything's at 100% there as far as go. Max reverse, I dropped down to 30. Think about dropping it down to 20. But after hitting the track today, 30 seems to be pretty good, because when you get stuck on stuff, getting a rut, whatever, you can back out pretty much more better. So the centralist timing, I'm not messing with that. My motor already gets hot as it is. I'm in Texas. Arming timing, 1.5, that's fine. Just keep it on low. I'm not doing anything too crazy. Throttle curve. So this is, whoa, you can see me. Look at how the freaking RC cars get back. Anyway, so the throttle curve is pretty interesting. All you gotta do is click a bunch of cool things. But every time you do this, you have to hit update. And when you do update, for some reason, I always have to recalibrate my ESC. Which luckily it's very easy. So I did adjust the brake curve too. It's it jumps up into the brake and then kind of eases off a little bit more plateaued. Software update. I'm not doing that. Save and print. Anyway, I wonder if we can view. I wonder if we can get somewhere. All right, so so the Sidewinder 3 is not a data logging ESC. Doing a little bit of rabbit hole research. Now, what I've done to this car, this is a factory box stock XL5 version, right? Original shocks. The only thing I updated was the shock caps, so no more blow-offs. All of the links, except for the actual steering link itself, have been updated to the VXL version. That's it. These are stock Trexus legs. I just dremelled them out. I want a little bit more air to pass through. Let's see, what else? Stock, actually the original axles, I've yet to blow them. Turns out when you set your slipper clutch right, it saves a lot of things. I've only stripped out 1 gear because I was running a 40 tooth on a 76 in a speed run. I even took the shocks off. I just put links. I didn't even worry about suspension at that point. I just wanted to go fast. Well, I do say all in all, the car come out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I don't recommend it. I have like 3 or 4 of these. Been putting them upside down and putting more wings on the front for aerodynamics for high-speed runs. This is no longer a high-speed car. I'm trying to actually play with the big boys, all your Associated and X-rays, see if I can't get kind of close to making Trexus great again. Get back to the roots. I actually kind of want to replace the motor. I wouldn't mind trying like a 17.5. That thing, that'd be pretty cool. Just playing around a little bit. I do need to update the servo. That's going to be a Savix. Hopefully a Savix. Depends on what's available. But yeah, if you're going to be running a Castle Link, Castle System ESC and all that, just get you a little extra cord. Just so you don't have to keep opening the housing. It's just nice to have. And I can switch. Oh, for the buggy tires, I did have to get the 12 millimeter hexes. Make sure you don't get the 14 millimeter hexes. Because the pin don't go in and nothing else fits. And the only really drivetrain upgrade I did, other than the motor, was this freaking ball diff. Okay, it does have a template you got to cut out. It tells you how to put it together. It's better if you watch some YouTube videos. This was the template right here. I had to cut it out because I had to drill a tiny, where's it at? Tiny hole right there, right there. Stainless steel screw is. Wasn't fun. Maybe I'll do like a side view, so you poor souls don't have to figure this out. So if I want to adjust the ball diff, I do have to take this off. It's just right down there. I drop my tiny little 1.5 Allen wrench down in there, and I spin one wheel. It's either going to tighten or loosen it. But for dirt, it's freaking awesome. This is the part number. No, I didn't spend that much on it. I got a hookup. I think I paid $10 for it. But this is the part number I used. This is what fit the Bandit, and it worked good. Still, number one most important thing, unless you want to blow it out, make sure you break it in. Just break in your ball diff. Be patient. If you're going to invest money like this, I could have got a gear diff for like a quarter of the price. Till then, have fun. Keep it real simple. I mean, it's a toy. It's a freaking toy. It's a toy. Love it. What? Next project. See if you can't see my secret weapon there. This is the next project. So it used to be a wrestler. Used to could. Alright, one other thing. I did have to Dremel out some extra cooling holes. Because in this tiny little bite, there is no breathing room. There's no breathing room for either the motor or the ESC. So, if you're going to do what I did, give this thing, give it some air. Let it breathe. So, if I'm going to do a speed run, that's one of my secrets right there. Fuel line hose, especially on the rears. It's like a bump stop. Oh God, focus. Oh gosh, okay, it just made it worse. Well, anyway, it helps. It stops the shock body from just slamming into itself, and there is a little bit of extra cushion. I don't know what's going on, Samsung. What's the deal, Pickle? But I do have a speed run body. I'm just saying, ready to rock and roll with her. Custom. No breather holes. You want all the air out. So, and the wing is optional. I'm not gonna be putting this on in a speed run unless I can figure out a way to mount it right there. Perfect. That's why I'm screaming. Right on the very front. Super scoop.